Videos like these are made possible thanks to your generous contributions to the Unabridged Gamer Patreon.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who chose to oppose his shield must yield.
Captain America's Super Soldier is the rare example of a marvelous movie tie-in. Where many have fallen, Captain America soars. Frequent critiques paint it as just a passable Batman Arkham clone, at best, an acceptable movie game. This undersells what may be one of the few great Marvel games in years, let alone the only truly great MCU tie-in game. Where the likes of Iron Man and Thor border on absolutely broken, Next Level Super Soldier packs a winning formula that should have turned the tide of the war for Marvel's movie games, instead of being its swan song. Yes, that Next Level. The brilliant developers behind Cybertron Adventures are at it again, crafting another memorable, brisk action experience that dares to think beyond traditional genre molds. Super Soldier isn't content with being a brawler, nor insistent on precisely aping Batman's approach to combat. Batman is a fierce enforcer who uses gadgets, precision, and stealth to crush enemies underfoot. Captain America is a good-hearted soul from Brooklyn, just trying to stop the Axis and Hydra from destroying the ideals of freedom, peace, and compassion that he holds dear. His only tools are his fists, his wits, and his mighty shield. There's no hiding in the shadows for Steve Rogers. He's a man of action, and boy does Super Soldier love itself some old-fashioned action. Fighting is less precise than in Arkham, but there's a reason for this. Steve still just started out to become the hero he's destined to be, meaning it's believable he'll make a few missteps. Instead of demanding every punch fit a specific rhythm, Super Soldier's combat more resembles the chaotic brawls of a Tarantino film. Your enemies attack more than one at a time, later encounters layering so many opponents that you can cause them to friendly fire. There are whole encounters that can also be shortened by careful use of environmental hazards. Your shield deflects not only melee hits, but gunshots and energy blasts that can devastate Hydra's goons. In fact, your various special moves have different effects depending on which enemies you use them on, ranging from turning a mini-boss into ticking time bombs to directly weaponizing them like a mounted gun against their comrades. All of this is further heightened when playing on hard, which, in a rare case, I have to advocate trying, as the additional wrinkle of your health only regenerating when using special moves really shakes up every encounter wonderfully, adding some serious incentive to be judicious with your shield timing and flexibility. It really makes you feel like the various systems click together, heightening the experience spectacularly. And thankfully, Steve doesn't pull his punches with Hydra, regardless of the difficulty. There's no time to play nice with the literal Nazis while innocent lives are at stake. To be fair, most of his attacks are still non-lethal, even on bosses, but rocket launchers, plasma cannons, and more can all be wielded openly against your opponents. Not only does this ensure combat offers a refreshing change of tactical options, but also more openly admits that you're fighting truly awful human beings who view you as subhuman and will do whatever it takes to take you out, so you need to survive, and you need to stop them before they harm someone else. In fact, the entire story frames itself around this theme. Backstory to mid-battle barks all fighting back and forth over the ideology of the contemptuous hatred Hydra and the Nazis represent. To be fair, the narrative itself is a bit underwhelming, but the game's dubious canonical status makes this not really an issue. Set during the montage of Captain America the First Avenger, you visit Castle Zemo to stop the Red Skull's lackeys from creating new abominations that are tearing apart the Western Front, and awakening an ancient alien machine. Remarkably, virtually every cast member from the movie, besides Hugo Weaving, Toby Jones, and Dominic Cooper reprising their roles. Of those that do return, some definitely come across better than others. Chris Evans struggles in certain scenes while sounding great in others. It's strange. Sometimes he really seems in the moment, other times it's like as if it's his first day. Haley Atwell's brief appearances are splendid, and sadly, very brief. Sebastian Stan, however, is the weakest of the bunch, often sounding like he's still learning his lines as he's reading them into the microphone. Regardless, given this was originally intended as a genuine piece of tie-in material for the movie's biggest fans, seeing so many cast members return and their likenesses captured so well is a delight. Ironically, the strongest story of the game is found via collectibles, detailing the fall of Castle Zemo and how the current Baron Zemo flees his home to seek his revenge against the Red Skull. Zemo's comeuppance is absolutely earned, but you can't help but feel some sympathy as you listen to his earnest diary read aloud by Steve Bloom. In a way, it makes you wonder if this was supposed to be a setup for Civil War's modern Zemo, having much humbler origins in the present, or just a remarkable happy accident. Either way, Zemo's tale of egotism and superiority undercut by reality helps clinch the major thrust of what Super Soldier wants to say. Rather than simply retread the threads of the film, Super Soldier presents a Hydra seeking to extend beyond flesh and bone. Dr. Zola has found the Sleeper, a dangerous mechanical monstrosity beneath the earth, and is studying it to unlock the secrets of melding man and machine. This leads to all manner of horrific experiments to fight, culminating in some remarkably effective boss battles that exist to further the story as much as engage your reflexes. Each villain you face presses you with new wrinkles to combat, all while representing another sickly layer of Hydra's black heart. It's a display of cohesive work that's only undercut by two secondary elements: the platforming and the collectibles. You see, when not hammering Hydra's goons, most of what you'll do in Super Soldier is explore a surprisingly massive castle with almost nothing to do in it. All parkour navigation is pre-scripted to the point that you're basically navigating glorified QuickTime events. You do get a boost to your super mirror for changing them smoothly, but that's only critical on hard difficulty. Otherwise, it's a completely useless system for getting you from point A to point B. It's best used in a few bonus challenge maps as a gimmick, and that's not high praise. Agility is one of Captain America's strong suits, so I can't help but imagine the time and effort put into these sequences could have been better used in some navigational puzzles that incorporated your shield and manually piloting Steve through such moments. Worse, if still inoffensive, is Super Soldier's obsession with collectibles. Forget Riddler trophies or eagle feathers, Super Soldier has, and I swear I think I'm forgetting another one, but I'm gonna try and count them all off the top of my head. Ceramic eggs, beer steins, smashable statues, explodable equipment, angelic figures, Hydra files, Hydra film reels, Hydra blueprints that at least help you do better against enemies, and yeah, I still think there's at least 2 to 3 more that I've forgotten at this point. It's a lot, and most of it is just collected by running around with nothing else going on. Now, there are the collectibles that unlock Zemo's diaries and other backstory logs that fans can enjoy to learn more about Hydra, but there's little incentive outside of achievements to really track all of them down. In general, they hurt the pacing, sometimes sending you running around for minutes at a time rather than proceeding to the next area that's clearly there. I appreciate that you can backtrack if you want to skip them until later, but that just means stopping near the end of the game to go through every single level and grabbing all of them. It's the one element that doesn't fit, even with the payoff of Zemo's side story. If you're gonna get them all, just use a guide so you don't have to explore around and it'll save you a bunch of time. The thing is, both of these aspects are minimal in the grand scheme of things. You've got a healthy 6 to 8 hour campaign with some genuine replay value, plus a surprisingly engaging series of challenge maps that reuse assets in new ways. It's one of the better Arkham iterations in years, and certainly more pleasant than Arkham Knight. It helps that the score captures the bombastic roar of the first Avenger, with a few tunes standing out, which feels like a good description of the game itself. Super Soldier isn't hugely worth playing without the context of the movie it's based upon, nor does it redefine the brawling genre, but it has meaningful, creative choices and some serious highlights nestled amid familiar beats. By comparison to most movie games, it's an absolute triumph. As a game on its own, it's plenty of fun and was worth the time I spent on it. It's also one of the handful of World War II action games that isn't a shooter, which is refreshing in of itself. And in a final note, some serious credit to Next Level for going so far as to include their entire storyboards for the first draft of the game during pre-production. Almost no developers would be brave enough to show this, demonstrating that they actually expanded the campaign's length and even highlighting a cute nod to a cut cameo boss fight for Union Jack. If you ever want to see something comparable to the Lord of the Rings behind-the-scenes videos, the unlockable concept arts for Super Soldier are some of the closest I've ever seen. This is real stuff. This is what a developer actually works with. That doesn't change the quality of the game or my score, but it does bring a serious smile to my face. This is actually good unlockables, especially for those interested in how games work. I am amazed. This is spectacular work. Top marks, Captain Rogers. An 8.5 out of 10.